Are you trying to find out what IT consulting is all about and all you get is videos like this? In this video, I'm going to talk about what IT consultants do, and that is not just traveling. So let me start off by giving an example of a friend. He came up to me and told me he wants to get into VR gaming, but he doesn't really know what to buy, what to get, and all the process that it involves around VR gaming. So if I had never done this before, if I've never done VR gaming before, I'd be a terrible person to give advice or any recommendations on how he should proceed. So as a consultant, I have to be an expert in that field. I've had to do my research first, and I've had to do it more than one time. And that way I can take on this challenging task to help my friend. Now keep in mind there are lots of different kinds of consultants, so we're just focusing on the IT consulting part of things. There's management consulting as well that kind of overlap at times. One of the tools IT consultants use to help figure stuff out for their client is something called a gap analysis. So in a gap analysis, we look at the current state and the future state where the client wants to be, and how do you get there? We build out all the steps in getting to that piece to meet their future needs. So in this example of my friend, his current state is that maybe he just has a laptop. A simple laptop that does not have much computing power. It's very basic. To perform the gap analysis, there's a series of questions I can ask him, and also lots of different techniques I can use to observe what he's doing, interview what he's got, and see him in action. So in this case, I can ask him, what kind of computer do you have? And that would be the current state. And in the future state, I could ask him, what kind of games do you want to play? Now, if I just jumped into a conclusion and said, you need to go buy a PSVR or build a really expensive computer, then that I'd be just giving him the solution without even taking into consideration what the constraints are around that. So a consultant has to take into account what the client's parameters are, how much money they might have, how much time that they have to implement something, what existing technologies they have in place, and how big of a change do they want to take into consideration. Hey friends, if you're liking this video so far, if you're finding it useful, please give it a like and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification icon. That way you can keep seeing these videos I put out. So after looking at what my friend has, I figure out that he's just got a regular laptop like a Surface tablet or a MacBook computer. And I find out for the future state, he wants to be able to play PC VR gaming, an Oculus Rift, an HTC Vive, or any of these Windows mixed reality headsets. So after performing my assessment on what he has right now and where he's trying to get in the future, I have to now come up with a list of steps that he needs to go. So I have to present him with some options. Option number one, he can buy something off the shelf that's pre-built, ready to go out of the box. So number two would be that we can build him something that is going to get him the VR games that he wants to play. And in this part, I can also offer him my services because I've built my computer before, I've built the system before, I've got a VR headset ready to go. So this is a lot of times what consultants do. Consulting companies will come in and do their assessment. That's one piece of the thing. That's one of the deliverables that they'll have. Another thing is a follow-up business on top of that. So this is where they can offer their services and their expertise because now they actually have the people to build. This is where the developers come in. This is where the software engineers come in, the database people now who can build all these systems for them. A lot of times people get confused on thinking that consulting is something totally different from software engineering or database management, but realize that a lot of times companies need both kind of people. They need people who can go in and do these kinds of assessments. It requires technical knowledge, but they're not necessarily coding. They're not building something. They're just trying to understand what is the capabilities that the client wants to have. And then they reach out back to their companies, and that's when they put a team together based on what needs to be built out. So they'll put together the software engineers, the database admins, the architects, and even functional people. check out my video on non-technical roles, functional roles. And I'm gonna link that in the video description and also link it in the cards above. So check that out after you're watching this video if that's something that is interesting to you. There you have it, friends. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and let me know in the comment section what you want to see next and what interests you about IT consulting. And hey, keep on being awesome.